Hello, our group's presentation explores H&M's significance within the clothing retail industry. Here's a quick overview of what we'll be covering. It's the company's strategy and business model, industry structure, internal and external conditions, analysis of change in the company's industry, analysis of company's competitive position, and recommendations. To introduce H&M, it was founded in 1947, globally operating. It operates in Asia, Europe, Africa, North, and South America. It is a fast fashion retail industry, products ranging from apparel to accessory and more. It does have a diverse customer base. So we're going to start by looking at the company strategy and business model. So we're going to focus on H&M strengths, which is having both a physical store and an online store, which go both hand in hand. Consumers could go to its physical store, see the products there are, or go online, order it to get delivered to them, or have it the option of getting picked up at the physical store. H&M is trying to be environmentally friendly by having 3% recycled materials in its products, 84% packaging materials recycled or sustainably sourced, and is trying to increase them. Also, H&M's business optimization is focusing on using AI and digital product creation, meaning that it tries to use the data given from consumers and tries to personalize more options. H&M is also collaborating with famous people or other brands. So now we're going to look at H&M Fitness. It does have a more competition. Consumers have other alternatives that they could choose from. The supply chain is a global distribution, so it might struggle with shipping, either by delays or making sure that the costs are under. Inventory management is also a struggle for H&M since they are trying to produce a lot of clothing, so they either could overstock the product or since it might just not meet the attention of consumers, they have more products unsold. And again, since they are producing a lot of clothing, it does contribute to textile waste. Their products reach markets with poor waste management or recycling infrastructures. So H&M has to know its strengths and weaknesses to know what it's doing correctly and what it has to improve on. H&M has trade-off, meaning it has to choose an option and gain something from it, but it still has to give something up, such as fast production, meaning it could keep up with trends and fastly be having products out, but it is affecting the environment. It also can have low prices, meaning that sales increase since it is affordable, but the quality will be lower. It does also have large quantity clothes, meaning that it does have a diverse customer base, but the products can be seen as luxury. It is global, so it's efficiently being able to get its products out there, but since it is focusing around all the other location it's not able to focus on local trends. And it is focusing online, so it could personalize options for its consumers, but if it focuses too much on that, it's going to decrease store traffic. So H&M has to know which is beneficial for them and not affecting them as much. So looking at the company's business model is focusing on 6 things. One, the products, which is its clothes that are trendy, making sure that it's at low cost. The consumers are usually teenagers and up, and making sure that it's economic. Allocation in both physical store and online. Revenue is coming from its sales in store or online, or from collaborations from famous people or other brands. Its costs usually go to the clothes manufacturer or managing the business. Its manufacturers is from factories where it's getting its clothes produced, and it is quick and cheap. So to get a better idea if H&M is having a good strategy, we can use the blue ocean, which is the red ocean strategy. The red ocean is usually how companies are competing in a crowded pool. And what focusing on H&M is that it's competing in an existing market, which is the clothes. It does have competitors such as Shein, Forever 21, Zara, and Gap. There is a there's a war price since everybody is trying to make sure that it is affordable to its customers. Trends is difficult since everybody is usually having the same stuff. That means that consumers have more options. And there is mass production since all the companies are trying to get their products out there. H&M is trying to go to the blue ocean, which is trying to personalize itself, being unique and grabbing consumers' attention. And how is it doing this? It's by doing collaborations, making sure that it's limited, or making sure that it is with people that its consumers would like. It is keeping up with fashion trends and everything going around, It is using AI to make sure that it is customizing specifically to those consumers and giving the best option to choice. H&M has decided to use recycled materials in its products, which is grabbing attention from its consumers. So H&M really does focus on environmental friendly because nowadays that's what people want to be working with. So far we see that H&M does have a good strategy since it is trying to have a competitive advantage by differentiating itself from other competitors. It is focusing on sustainability, having digital presence, and making sure that it's able to adapt to trends.
Hi, my name is Vivian, and today I'm going to be talking about the industry structure that H&M is currently a competitor in, and I'm going to talk about how external and internal conditions play a huge role in the fast fashion industry. Start off, Porter's five force model comes with five forces, and this is used to measure the external and internal conditions of any industry. The first force is threat of entrance, then comes along with rivalry, threat of substitutes, supplier, and buyer power. So first, let's look at the threat of entrance in the industry. The rise of online platforms, it's easier for smaller companies or newer companies or markets to or brands to enter the market, causing a high competition rate. And because of how easy it is, it increases competition and reduces profits for the already existing competitors in the market. So, and let's look at rivalry right now. The US fast fashion market is dominated by three major players, Zara, Shein, and Forever 21. H&M is also part of the top brands in this industry as well. The high level of competition between all these fast fashion brands can lead to price wars and constant pressure to keep releasing new products due to the quick changing trends. Next, let's talk about the threat of substitutes. Due to the rise of the new trend of vintage clothing, thrifting, and buying secondhand, these are the substitutes that fast fashion are is keeping is growing concern for that can make them lose their customer base, especially for Generation Z. They're looking at other options to because they're now more environmentally conscious and understand the impact of what fashion does to the environment. So because of these threats, it um it leads companies like H&M to create quickly adapt and create new trends or new ideas to bring those customers back. For supplier power, it's traditionally always been low in the industry due to how easy it is to access labor outside of the US. And because of like certain global events like inflation or COVID-19, the push for ethical sourcing have increased the supplier's influence. And for H&M, this means ensuring a resilient and ethical supply chain. And then for buyer power, it's very, very high up in the fast fashion industry. They solely depend on this force in order to continue and keeping successful in this industry. And the buyer power is also the consumer. Consumers have a lot of choices and low switching costs and are very, very price sensitive. Externally, this puts pressure on all retailers to give consumers the best price or best offer in order to keep their loyalty. Now that we talk about all the external conditions, let's talk about the conditions that come with these five forces. For the threat of entrance, um, for example, H&M has to leverage its economies of scale to protect its brand loyalty and continuously innovate to stay ahead of newcomers. They have to keep creating new products and use that advantage to stay in the competition and still stay relevant. They can do this by investing in technology and using the data they have from previous to improve their strategies. For rivalry internally, H&M must invest in a speed to market and find loyalty strategies that help keep their customer base. They need to invest in these kind of things in order to and respond quickly to customers' sensitivity. H&M must manage a resilient and transparent supply chain. And to do this, they focus on vertical integration into their company strategies. So they would be controlling more of the production process in order to improve efficiency, reduce costs, and limit dependency on external suppliers while being sustainable at the same time. And for buyer power, internally, H&M must also invest in data analytics and use that data to keep prices at a low for their consumers and respond very fast to their customers base and protect their profit margins. And they've been doing this by um for example, Gen Z, they came out with a sustainable brand that brings back those customers because they're more like looking for sustainable options to help save the environment. That's an example.
The fast fashion industry has seen a lot of growth in recent years, but that success hasn't come without major challenges. The industry faces growing pressure from environmental regulations, shifting lifestyles, ethical expectations, and rapid tech changes. One of the biggest concerns is sustainability. As the world becomes more aware of climate change, the impending environmental impact is hard to ignore. The fast fashion industry is currently responsible for around 10% of global greenhouse gas emissions and produces a large amount of plastic waste. Water use is also a big issue, as fast fashion uses enough water each year to supply several million people. In a world where water scarcity affects millions, that's a problem we can't afford to overlook. This growing environmental awareness has led to real action, with many countries committing to the Paris Agreement, which promises to cut emissions spanning multiple industries. In the case of fast fashion, this means significant regulatory changes. The United Nations has even introduced the Fashion Industry Charter for Climate Action, which provides resources to help brands lower their emissions. Some of the world's largest clothing brands have already signed on, acknowledging the need for accountability and change. At the same time, consumer behavior is shifting. Each new generation is more focused on health, sustainability, and long-term value. People are choosing quality over quantity, investing in timeless, durable clothing made with organic materials instead of cycling through cheap trends. These lifestyle choices disrupt the fast fashion model, which relies on constant turnover and impulse purchases. If demand for quick, disposable clothing falls, profits will follow. Technology is also changing the retail space for fast fashion. Retailers are being pushed to innovate, whether that means adopting new payment systems, using AI to personalize shopping experiences, or moving into fully online marketplaces. Even simple AI tools like the ones that track inventory or recommend products have become essential for staying relevant. For a company like H&M, these industry changes are not just challenges, they're a matter of survival. To meet stricter environmental standards, H&M has leaned heavily into circularity. They've introduced resale of garments in select countries, partnered with thrifting and secondhand marketplaces, and offered services like garment collection, repair, and care instructions, all with the goal of extending the life of every item they sell and reducing waste and pollution while keeping their customers excited for their releases. H&M also understands that younger consumers expect more from the brands they support. Our youth care about the planet and want to buy from companies that reflect their values. H&M has responded by creating more thoughtful, better-made products that speak to the desire for sustainability. On the tech side, H&M has positioned itself as an early adopter. From in-store AI integration to digital platform improvements, they're working every day to serve customers, whether they shop online or in-store. And it's working. By staying on trend and responding to change, H&M has carved out a competitive advantage over other retailers like Zara and Shein. They've diversified their product offerings, carefully analyzed emerging trends, and built a brand that resonates with conscious consumers. But they're not immune to risk. If they hit a plateau in their sustainability goals, or if those goals limit their product diversity too much, they could lose the edge they've worked to build. And if customers begin to see other brands as more innovative or more ethical, H&M could struggle to hold on to its base. So while H&M is doing a lot right, the industry is ever changing, and the pressure to keep up is not going away.
So now we're going to go over H&M's competitive position. First, for the quantitative goals for market share and profitability, H&M aims to maintain and grow its position as one of the world's largest fashion retailers. While the company does not publicly share its quantitative goals for market share and profitability, The ongoing expansion into new markets signals a strategy for consistent growth. In 2024, they had a goal for a 10% operating margin, which they scrapped when they failed to meet the target in all operating quarters. But they continued to maintain it as a long-term goal to aspire to. And in quarter two of 2025, they achieved an operating margin of 10.4%, which is well within their 10% operating margin goal. While the trailing 12-month average remains low at 5.7%, which is not ideal. And then additionally, H&M opened 88 new stores in 2024. And for H&M's products and services and price, H&M stands out from rivals because they have a focus on delivering fashion and quality in a sustainable way at the best price. Many of the products offered are produced using recycled and sustainable materials. In 2024 full-year report, the CEO emphasized the goal to reduce greenhouse emissions by 56% by 2030. Compared to their 2019 baseline, results show a decrease by 23%. And an additional goal the company aspires for, as stated on the website, is to become net zero across the value chain by 2040. They're also aiming to scale circular models and systems for products, supply chain, and customer journeys. By improving the circular models, this allows H&M to use new resources and be more sustainable while creating less of an environmental impact. Typically, fashion companies follow a linear model that loosely follows the cycle of take, make, and waste, which just produces a lot of waste while using a lot of resources. While a circular model keeps garments in use for longer by using repair services and reselling and renting. This extends the life of the garment and lowers waste. Once a garment has reached the end of its life cycle, it can then be collected to be used in some way, rather than going to waste and creating trash. As seen on the website, H&M has 4 primary models of its circular business model. And these are resell, use and care, repair, and collect. H&M offers repair tips, products, and services for their products. They also feature garment collecting services in most of the stores, and in return, customers receive points for using those services. While H&M's top competitors are known for having some of the lowest prices, H&M's focus and competitive advantage is producing quality products at a low price. Instead of focusing on having the lowest or premium prices, H&M focuses on value for money. This sets H&M apart from its top competitors. Now, for critical resources and capabilities, H&M has its supply chain and logistics. The company has continued focus on improving the supply chain flexibility and speed. This allows the company to quickly respond to changing fashion trends and allows for frequent inventory turnover. While H&M is slower than its leading competitor, Zara, it is still a strength of the company in the fashion industry. As the CEO mentioned in the 2024 full report, the company continues to develop nearshoring capacity and expand the use of RFID. The use of RFID helps the company optimize store operations and predict consumer trends, while nearshoring keeps costs lower and erases the line of communications by keeping its operations near together. And the competitive disadvantages H&M faces is a long history of inventory challenges, which puts it at a disadvantage over its competitors. A long-term goal for the company is to achieve an inventory of 12 to 14% of sales. H&M has been exceeding this goal with ranges of 17 to 16%. This indicates that the company is experiencing overstock issues. This leads to less profitability, sales, and markdowns to sell the excess inventory, and negatively affects customer perception. And another disadvantage H&M faces is its online presence. The company lags behind its direct competitors and was slower to adapt to the online landscape. This contributed to missed early online growth during COVID, and the website and app is also rated lower for usability than compared to Zara and Shein. H&M's new CEO, Daniel Erver, as of 2024, has stated that going forward, the company will continue to improve the online experience.
Hello everyone, my name is Lucas and I'll be doing the part 5 of our group project, which would be the recommendations. So before I start with everything, I would like to do a little overview on how H&M is in the industry right now and how they are performing in the past 5 years. So after analyzing a little bit more about the company and doing more research about the fashion industry, we could notice that H&M, they've been doing very good in their financial aspect, but if we compare to Zara, they still a little below in their return over assets. So it's a lot of problems within H&M and within the industry that we needed to fix and better plan a strategic movement to position H&M in a better position in the market and make sure they can constantly grow and make sure it is a sustainable strategy. So we have a lot of emerging problems in the industry, which would be the fashion industry is very competitive. It has low entry barriers, and also we've been seeing a lot of environmental regulations that the fashion industry is imposing in the companies in the market. So the first strategy that I would say H&M should do in order to still competitive in the market is to improve their margins. Because another problem that H&M is having is that they have excess inventory, about 14 to 16% of their sales, which is bad for them. So if we could decrease increase the margins and decrease the excess inventory by 12 to 14%, then we could compete a little more with Zara, and we can do that by giving bonuses to employees who achieve the goals of inventory, achieve the goals of sales, and achieve the goals of the operation efficiency in general. So our strategy is basically a mix about operational efficiency and sustainability. Because also another strategic option that we could use to better position H&M in the market is to hire a group of people that is very talented to explore AI in the fashion industry. So we can see a lot of digital growth in the fashion market. So if we have a team that could explore more AI for new trends in the fashion industry and also better position H&M in the e-commerce, also create marketplace that allow other people to resell products from H&M, that would be a very good point, because H&M, if we compare it to the other companies, they still a little below also in the digital aspect. So it's a lot of also another thing that we need to fix. The third thing that I would say H&M could do is to do more sustainable product. So we could see that the Gen Z in general is having a trend right now to buy sustainable clothes. So if we could increase the price of our clothes by doing sustainable products by very good designers that are able to achieve this goal, we could also increase our margin and make the company more competitive in the market. So basically this is those are the three strategies that I would say. The first is the digital transformation, the second is more sustainable products, and the third is make sure we get rid of the excess inventory, so then we can be better competitive in the market. The H&M, they have a very good global supply chain, they have a very good logistics. So if we get rid of those three things, it would be better to keep the company in a very competitive way compared to Zara and the other companies in the fashion industry. Thank you.